All right, guys, welcome to our Thursday night team call. It is so amazing to see all these gorgeous faces. It's like a Philly Fusion reunion up in here. I love it. It's so cool. As you're hopping on, please mute your lines. Drop your team names in the chat. We want to know who's here. I am going to be skipping over my team's recognition for tonight. But I would love to hear from you guys. How is your January going? I hope that you're having a really good January. There's like one day left in January. So drop in the chat. I want to recognize yourselves. I want to hear what your Success Club points are. I love to see how many lives you guys are changing. And I hope that you guys are making your January awesome. I hope that you are rocking your health and fitness journey, following Bar Blend or your program to a T, along with the nutrition, falling in love with your workout, spreading it like wildfire on social media. Awesome. Okay, so we have Jasaira on the call tonight. Girlfriend, thank you so much for offering to do calls for us. I love it. I see you up on the stage in Philly and you're so cute, and I never have an opportunity to talk to you or hear from you, so I'm so excited to hear from you tonight. You are a 3-star diamond, team leader, Philly Market Council, Team Cup top 9 in 2014. How awesome is that, considering next month is Team Cup month? So cool. You're a premier coach in 2018. You have 60 months of Success Club 5 and 10 legend in your business and your husband's. That's amazing. And you retired nursing at the age of 27 in June of 2016. I love this. When I hear these these accolades, my ears perk up and I just lean in and I just want to know everything. So I am going to pass the baton over to you and let you take it away.
Hey everyone. So as you hear all those accolades, I hope that inspires you and doesn't intimidate you, because I'm just a regular woman from Philadelphia, North Philadelphia at that. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did in order to reach where I am today. But I just want to tell you that I'm just a regular girl, because I know when someone meets someone who's super successful in the business and they're like, oh, I could never do that. And you can, because we're from the same area. So I created some cool little slides for you, and I could definitely share it if you want to have it as well. So today we're going to talk about how to crush your business with a full-time schedule, because obviously I was working full-time and as a nurse, and you need to learn. Most of you are probably still working your 9-to-5s, or maybe you're a nurse and you're working 12-hour shifts, and you have to learn how to manage your time in order to make this business work for you. So the first thing I want to do is talk a little bit about my story very briefly. So I actually started Beachbody in 2012 as a customer. But let me tell you about that little story, is that I was actually at the movies with one of my college friends, and we were watching that Channing Tatum sexy movie, and we were gonna go get pizza. And my friend was like, I'm not eating pizza today because I'm doing this program and I really want to lose weight. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because internally I was already gaining some weight from working days and nights at nursing. And I was like, so tell me, what are you doing? And then she told me, I'm doing this program called Insanity, and it's crazy. It is crazy, but I'm losing a good amount of weight. And I was like, okay, so I want to do it. Where do I get it? And she sent me to Amazon. So I bought the program on Amazon, and I did the program with my husband. Back then, he was actually my boyfriend. He really helped me stay committed throughout that program. But I was that person. I'm not sure how long you all have been coaches, but I've been a coach for about 7 to 8 years. I started in 2013, and we had DVDs. We didn't have Beachbody on Demand. So I would play that DVD, and if you notice, if anyone has DVDs, in the very end, it tells you about Beachbody coaching and Summit, and this is the best time of your life. I never got to that part. Why? Because I skipped stretching, because after Insanity, I was done. I was like, I don't want to stretch. This is all I'm going to do, just the workout. So I had no idea about Beachbody coaching until someone actually approached my husband. And I always say boyfriend because he was my boyfriend at the time. But they approached him, some random person. I guess they seen that he was going to the gym, and my husband has always been kind of lean, and he's like that person that he could eat pizza and chicken wings and still have abs, and I hate him. But they approached him, and he was like, that's not for me, but I think my girlfriend would really like to do it. And when he told me about it, I was like, you could get paid for helping people through fitness? And at the time, I was actually already helping people at my job. All the staff nurses on my unit, they were seeing the change in me, and my scrubs were getting looser. My face was, not as chunky. And people were asking me, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm doing this program called Insanity. Go on Amazon. I was selling everybody on Amazon. And I was literally hosting a challenge group, but I was doing it all for free and not getting paid and sending everybody to Amazon. So when he told me that, it wasn't even like, I didn't even need to think a lot. I Googled it a little bit just to make sure that it was a real thing. But I was like, I'm in, because I'm already doing it. So why not make a little bit of money? I was like, it would be really, really nice to go on more vacations. And that was my thought. My thought wasn't to retire or eliminate my debt or anything like that. It was like, it would be nice to have a little bit extra money to go on vacation. Now, I officially became a Beachbody coach May of 2013, and Summit was in June, that next month. I had those limiting beliefs like a regular person. I'm like, I can't go to Summit. I'm a nurse. I can't just take off next month. Like, they're not going to let me. And guess what? I didn't even attempt to ask. If I probably would have asked, I probably would have got it off. But I had those fears, and I was like, I can't go. And my upline is actually Jessica Bowser Nelson, and she's like best friends with Shaun T now. And when she posted videos of Shaun T, I had FOMO. And I was so upset that I didn't go. And I was like, oh my God, I love Shaun T. I want to meet him. And immediately when the tickets for the next year came, I bought them. And I was so excited because I was like, I want to see Shaun T. But throughout that process, I was planning a wedding, to getting married to the videographer that you guys see in Philly Fusion. I was prepping, to get married. I started graduate school to be a nurse anesthetist because I was burnt out with nursing. So I was trying to find my happiness. And I was trying to build this business. And then just dealing with life and my family. And it was tough because even during that time, I lost my uncle through suicide. So I was going through a lot of stuff. And prior to going to Summit in 2014, I thought about quitting Beachbody. And I was just overwhelmed with life and overwhelmed with graduate school and planning a wedding. But I had bought a ticket that was combined with a hotel room. This is when Summit used to be in Vegas. It was like super fun and very intimate. Now they're super huge. But it was packaged with a hotel room. And I couldn't, for some reason at that time, I couldn't transfer it or anything like that. And I feel like it was a sign from God that I needed to go. And I asked my boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call him from there. He was my boyfriend at the time. And I was like, do you want to come to Vegas and go to this Summit thing? And he was like, no, that's all you. And I was like, oh my God, who's going to come with me? So I asked my mom, because I had signed her up as a coach. And she was like, sure, I just want to meet Charlene. So I went to go see Shaun T, and she went to go see Charlene. And that was the only reason why we wanted to go to Summit. But when we got there, it was mind-blowing. And this is the reason why it's so important to go to events, especially, super weekends and Summit. Like, I know sometimes you think about like, I don't have the money. I got to pay for a flight, and I got to do this and I got to do that. But these events are life-changing, because when I told you I was going to quit. If I didn't go to Summit, I wouldn't be here today talking to you and telling you about my story. So I met another nurse, was Alyssa Shoemaker, and I had a good conversation with her at Summit. And I was like, you're a nurse and you don't work nursing anymore? You quit to do this? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I could do that too if she can do it. It didn't even come to like jealousy. It was like, if she can do it, I can do it too. So I set really big goals on my first summit. And it was make Success Club every single month, because prior to that, I was like, make Success Club this month and not this month. Like, was playing around with the business and not really taking it seriously. So I said I was going to make Success Club every single month. I was going to find a success partner, and I was to become Diamond. And those were my 3 goals for my first summit. I got home, and a month later, I became Diamond. I had a success partner, and I've been making Success Club every single month since then. Then Summit of 2015. So that's why like Summit is always something amazing for me, because I always make big goals. So 2015 Summit, you guys can actually go on my YouTube channel, and I have a video of me crying and saying, I'm going to quit nursing and I'm going to eliminate my debt. I'm going to make it happen. And December of 2015, I read a book called Total Money Makeover. If you want to eliminate your debt, that's definitely a book that you want to read. I read that book and I followed all the steps. His name is Dave Ramsey. I followed the steps and I eliminated all my debt in April of 2016. And that was $72K of debt. Something that I told myself that I would be 80 years old still paying for it. And I paid it off at the age of 27. And then after that, I retired or left, whatever you want to call it. I left nursing June of 2016. So I want to just tell you that if you're not committed right now into your business, that's okay, because you can be committed today now. I was that person that played around with this business and didn't take it seriously in the very beginning. But after Summit, that was what I needed in order to push my business, in order to really realize that this is really something huge, that you need to take the opportunity with it, because you could have anything in life when you are, pushing for your goals. So that's a little bit of my story. Now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. The very first thing is you have to stop complaining. You have to stop making excuses, because you cannot build a business with excuses and complaining. You don't have enough time, you got to make time. Never, ever use your children as an excuse either. They should be your motivation. You are working this business because you want to have a better life for yourself and a better life for your children. They are not your excuse. You don't have any money, you're sitting on a business that can make you money. I just told you that I eliminated my debt. Every single paycheck that I made with Beachbody went to my debt, and that's how I eliminated it. And we'll talk about that. But money should not be an issue. I know things can, be tight, but you have something in your hands that can make you income. One thing I want to teach you is the choose again method. I don't know if there's any Gabby Bernstein fans here. I love Gabby Bernstein. There's a book called Super Attractor, and she talks about how you can switch your negative mindset to something positive. So if you say, I don't have time to do that, you switch it and you say, I do have time. I'm going to make time. I'm going to find time for what I want to do, versus always telling yourself that you don't have time, because you're going to continue to say that lie into your head, because you can find time. So always choose again. Any negative thing that pops in your head, you switch it to something positive. Next thing is removing negativity. To me, shit is not a curse word. Curse words to me are try, hope, wish, and think. I do not let my coaches tell me, I think I'm going to make Success Club. I'm going to try to make Success Club this month. I really hope I can make Success Club. I wish I can. You are already setting yourself up for failure, because you're not believing in yourself. Think of it. Think about it. I think I could make Success Club. You're basically already just saying, I can't make it happen. So you need to change those words into something positive. And the way I did that, because I was the most negative person ever in this world. I hate going on Time Hop, and also like the Facebook memories. I'm like, oh my God, I was awful. But personal development is what really changed my life. And I was that person going to Summit in the very first time, I wasn't doing all the vital behaviors. Personal development was one that I just would push to the side because I felt that I didn't need it. And it was more that I didn't like to read because I was in graduate school. I went to nursing school. I had to read big textbooks. And to that point, I was like, I don't want to read Compound Effect. I don't got time to read that. And when Alyssa Shoemaker was like, are you doing personal development? I was like, no. She's like, well, you should. And I was like, I guess I should start. So I started to read 5 to 10 pages a day until I still got tired of reading. So then I transitioned to Audible. And Audible, I love it because I could listen to books while I'm folding clothes, while I'm meal prepping. I actually like to go to the gym now just to get out of the house. So when I'm driving, I'm listening to an Audible book. I like literally never really listen to music. It's just all Audible or podcasts, just to fill my mind with positivity, especially on your bad moments. Like, life is a roller coaster. Nothing is ever going to be perfect and dandy, So when you have a bad day, instead of, continuing to put this bad energy and negativity into your mind, you pour a lot of positivity to switch it again, choose again. So positive affirmations are everything for me. So when I wanted to make Success Club, I would say I will make Success Club versus saying I'm going to try. I never used to tell it, like, first of all, I don't even have an upline coach. So Jessica Bowser Nelson is my upline. The coach that I signed up with never helped me. I had to figure out everything on my own. My coach was YouTube and Google and the back office. That's how I learned what I did. So change your mindset and say, I will make Success Club. I am a leader. I will retire. I will be debt free. And you keep saying that until you believe it. Write it on sticky notes and put it all over your house. One of my affirmations now, I'm like, I am a millionaire, because I would love to be there that one day, but I don't believe it yet. So I have to keep saying it and keep saying it so that I can start believing it. So change all your negative mindset thoughts to something positive until you really believe in it when you keep saying it. I also do this, I'm not sure if anyone follows the full moons and the new moon rituals, but anytime there's a new moon, I use one affirmation and I write it 55 times for 5 days straight. And those affirmations now, I know them by heart because I'm writing them over and over and over again. And those are ways that you can imprint those affirmations into your head. The next thing is sacrifice. And like I said, sometimes I love the Facebook memories and sometimes I don't. But this one popped up today and I was like, oh, I could put that on the slide. Because if you really want to succeed in this business, you have to make some sort of sacrifice. You can't be living the life that you live right now and expect your business to grow. You have to make sacrifice. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the sacrifice that I made in order to build the business that I have now. The very first thing was I canceled my cable. TV was the death of me. All I did was watch TV, and I knew that I was like, I have to cancel it because I had no control. I was like, I would just sit on the couch and I'm like, I just want to watch TV. So I canceled my cable, and then I tried to I worked on my lunch breaks. I read personal development. And then as a nurse, we don't really get breaks. Like, I only had like a 30-minute lunch break. But I would try my best. If my patients were good, I would be like, I'm going to the bathroom. I ain't had to pee. I was sending out invites and I was messaging people, and I was, doing little things that I can do at work, here and there. Then I started to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning on my days off, which is right here. There's a picture right here, because December of 2015 was when I made that goal. I was like, I want to eliminate my debt. So I knew that I either had to wake up earlier, I had to make a lot of sacrifices. And this picture actually popped up of me. This is when I was starting to wake up early and doing my power hour in the morning and getting my workout done and literally working for hours because I wanted that goal to quit nursing and eliminate my debt. So I woke up early, and then I also went to sleep later. And then sometimes when I did night shift, I basically really didn't sleep. And although you may be like, oh my God, I really value sleep, and I do too. But at that time, that's what I needed to do because I was already burnt out as a nurse. and I needed to make a change. So I knew that I had to sacrifice a little sleep. But now I could wake up whenever I want. I can go to sleep whenever I want. I don't have to ask my boss when I need to go on vacation. So it was really all worth it. After doing those little things, I started to see the income of, my Beachbody income rise. And I was like, what else can I do in order to build my business a little faster? So I decided to go part-time and change my position as to a NICU nurse, because I knew that as a NICU nurse, when babies are sick, we need to have them sleep. So during the time that they were napping, I would bring out my books. I would read personal development. I would do everything that I could do while I was at work, while my babies were sleeping. And then I gave up nurse anesthetist school because I knew that nursing wasn't my purpose anymore. I knew that I wanted to help people through fitness and prevent them from going to the hospital versus just telling them, hey, take this pill and you'll be fine. So I just completely quit school, and I removed anything that was unnecessary, which is on your phone. If you have any games on your phone, delete them. You should not have any games. I used to be addicted to Candy Crush, and I had to delete it because anytime I got bored, I would open it up and I was like, oh no, I got to do Power Hour. So these are some examples of sacrifice. I also said no a lot to parties and concerts, and anytime my friends wanted to go out, my excuse was I need to make Success Club first. So if I didn't make Success Club yet, I wasn't going out anywhere. Even my husband, you want to go out to dinner? No, I got to make Success Club first. So I made a lot of sacrifices, and I hope this gives you some ideas of some sacrifices that you can make. Now, this is going to be the bulk of our call, which is time management, because if you work a full-time job or you're part-time or whatever that may be, you still need to manage your time correctly in order to build this business and also have a life, right? So step one is evaluating how you use your time. I want you to write out 1 o'clock, I'm eating lunch, 2 o'clock, I'm working out. Like, you have to write everything down so that then you'll figure out where you're wasting time. That's how I figured out that Netflix, I was like, I have to cancel Netflix. I have to delete my games. And that's how I realized all the time that I was spending on unnecessary things at the time. Then you're going to start eliminating those things and then start delegating tasks. If you have the extra income, I highly recommend to get a virtual assistant. I hired a virtual assistant way too late. I wish I actually did it much faster in my business, because if you go into Fiverr or Upwork, you can actually find VAs for like $3 an hour that can send messages for you, or that can create cool little graphics for you or anything like that. Now, if you don't want to hire a VA, you could also ask your family for help. So communication is honestly everything. I want to teach you a little bit about making sure that you tell your family what your goals are, because resentment will come when you're always on your phone. So I first had to communicate with my husband, because I was that person that I didn't really tell him about. Like, he knew I was working this business, but he didn't know my why. He didn't know that I wanted to quit nursing or eliminate my debt until it was too late, until he was like, you're always on your phone. And we were always, having arguments over it. So one day I had to sit him down and I was like, babe, like, I really want to quit nursing and I really want to eliminate my debt, because nursing is creating anxiety and I just really want some freedom in my life. So after I told him that, he was like, what do I have to do in order to help you? And I was like, it would be really nice if you could go grocery shopping or like really help me throughout the house. And he took care of absolutely everything with the house, because I was building this business and I was in nurse anesthetist school at the time when I told him this. So he started grocery shopping. He was washing and folding the clothes, taking out the trash. Literally, he did everything. He cleaned the house. And he's actually way more efficient than me. I'm OCD. So it takes me like 5 hours to clean my house, and it takes him like an hour. So he really helped me a lot to be able to give me more time to build my business. So that is an idea. If you can't, hire a virtual assistant, then you ask your family for help. If you have children, remember, you did not create them by yourself. Women, listen up, because I know that we are all nurturing and we always want to feel that we are powerful women. We can do a lot of things all by ourselves, but it's much better when you ask for help. So ask your husband, your girlfriend, whatever it may be, significant other, that you have to work your business and they need to take care of the kids while you're doing it. And that's the help that you need to start asking for. Step 2 is creating a vision board and set goals quarterly. Don't create a vision board and never look at it until December and be like, oh crap, I didn't achieve anything because I didn't look at it. So one really good book is called 12-Week Year. It's actually going to break up your goals within every 12 weeks so that you're working towards your vision every 12 weeks versus just in January and then you look it up in December. And again, tell your family your why. Why do you want this business to work? So that when you're on your phone, they can understand that you are doing this for them and you're not being selfish. You are working this business to better your life and better theirs. Step 3 is creating a daily plan and know exactly what you need to do every single day. I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm supposed to do a power hour. What I got to do? You got to work from a to-do list so that you're not, squirrel brain. Set boundaries and have business hours and communicate that with your family and even your children, if obviously they're old enough to understand. Tell them, mommy has to work from this time to this time. Please go, watch Disney Plus because there's Disney now. There's so many things that you could do now with your kids. And communicate that. And always do your vitals first, and then you clean out your inbox. I was that person that I have squirrel brain. So if I was sending out invites and someone will respond back, I was like, oh, I got to respond back to this person. And then all of a sudden I didn't finish my power hour and I was talking to this person for so long and they didn't even buy anything. So I was like, I need to stop doing this. So now I do my invites, my coach invites, my adding my friends, my personal development, all that stuff. And then I go and check my inbox. I also turn off my notifications so I don't get distracted. So if you message me on Facebook, I don't get it until I actually open my messages. That's really going to help you with your sanity and not get you burnt out, because then you're going to feel like you have no life if you're always responding to messages as they come in. Know that if someone really wants to join you, they're going to wait for you to respond back. So it's okay to wait until you are ready to respond back. Step 4 is using She Hustles Planner, which is a planner that I created, or any planner. It could be online, whatever you are. Like I'm a really paper and book. I need to write myself down so I can remember. But you have to work from a planner or a calendar or whatever. You got to have something. And then you're going to start time blocking. And I'm going to show you how to time block. Step 5 is setting alarms to get shit done and using a timer to prevent squirrel brain. So for my coach invites, I'm very particular on who I send invites to. So I have to set a timer for myself, because if not, I'll start scrolling on Instagram and then I'm like, what was I doing? I was supposed to be finding people to invite for coaching. So I have a little timer. It's actually a cooking timer, and I bought it on Amazon. And I just set it for, for my inbox. I set it for 20 minutes to get through my inbox. And then my follow-ups, I set it for an hour because my Asana is always big with a lot of follow-ups. I noticed that when I have that timer, I go much faster. If I don't have that timer, it'll take me forever to finish my follow-ups. So it's just a really good mechanism to just hurry up and do what you got to do because you're on the clock. And again, turn off your notifications to prevent burnout so that you're not always on your phone. And then you are preventing, your family being resentful for what you're, always being on your phone. I wanted to briefly show you guys my planner just in case if you don't have a planner. My planner is actually an all-in-one planner. It has a section where it's your bills, so that it could help you with eliminating your debt. There's a meal plan section, and actually I have mine here because I told you I work from it every single day. And I'll show you very quickly what it looks like. All right, can you guys see me good? So briefly, so the very first thing, I honestly really did make this for Beachbody coaches and myself. So the first thing is actually a vision board. So it first asks you, I'm sorry if you see it like backwards, but I have categories for you. So it's like travel, spirituality, business, career, and you write out your goals for the year first. And then the next page, it goes into creating your vision board. So if you know how to draw, I suck. I can't. So I didn't draw, but you can like cut out magazine pictures or Google images. But what I did is I do my vision board on Google Slides, and then I just taped it on here so that I could look at it every single day. I don't know if you guys love Jim Carrey, but he always talks about visioning your life and looking at your vision board every single day. So that's the reason why this is on there. The next portion is this planner is customizable. So you can buy it in June and start it and not miss out on pages. So you have your calendar, but when I told you that you need to break out your goals every single month, I remind you of your vision board. So if you want to, one of your goals may have been, I want to be a diamond. So what are you going to do to be diamond? You have to write that in there. What are you going to do for like travel? If you said you were going to travel, how are you going to get there? So all your goals will come out here reminding you about your vision board. Then we go into your monthly bills, because if you want to eliminate your debt, you need to know where your money is going. And then you'll realize maybe you're spending a little bit too much on Starbucks, because you're going to write everything that you're doing here as far as your income. Then you go into fitness part. So you have your meal plan, you'll write in your workouts here, and then you have your grocery list. And that pops up every single week because I actually go grocery shopping every week. And then the next portion is your time blocking. This is what we're going to talk about. Time blocking is that I write down absolutely everything that I'm doing in, at times. Now, if you have anxiety like me, just know that you don't have to follow it to the T, but it gives you a little game plan, especially if you get sidetracked and you forgot what you were working on. You can always go back and look at your planner like, oh, I was sending coach invites. So I have water here because we know water is always important. I have a positive habit tracker as well here. I always call this section is like the things that you suck at, you can improve on. So I started this on my own because I wanted to start meditating. And I was just like you guys. I'm like, I don't have time to meditate. I can't do that. Until I was like, you know what? I can make time. So I wrote meditate on here, and I have to check it off every single day that I do it. And it keeps me accountable that I'm doing it. So anything that you feel that you need to improve on, then you can put it on there. Coach invites, that was something that I needed to improve because I was always afraid to send coach invites. So that was another thing I used to add on there. Now I don't need to because it's already a habit. So anything that you want to improve, you can have there. There's a to-do list section. There's a notes section. And for those of you who like to journal, there is journal section for every single day, what you're grateful for, what your affirmations are, what your goals are for the day. And then you could jot out whatever you want on there. And then every single month, it actually reminds you of like, how was your month? How did you do? What you got to improve? And then after 3 months, your quarterly goals, it asks you again, what are your achievements? What can you do better? And this is what I use to, keep my life in check. So that's my planner. If you guys are interested in getting one, you can actually get it on Amazon. Now we'll go into time blocking. So time blocking is literally just writing out what you're doing every hour or every half hour, every 2 hours, whatever it may be. So I write down when I wake up, when I'm going to exercise, when I'm going to send my invites, when I'm going to do my personal development, appointments that I may have to go to, team calls that I have to show up to, one-to-one calls that I have to do for my coaches. Absolutely everything goes into a time blocking section. And like I said, if you get overwhelmed with looking at something like this, just know that it's just a game plan. You don't have to follow it to the T, but it gives you a certain amount of time to work on things so that you can achieve all your things that you have to do. Now, this is just an example. This one's actually something that I found on Google, but it was actually very relatable to my life because it says exercise, prayer, plan, content creation. You have email and phone follow-ups. You have coaching. So you could put anything that you need to work on, your social media, literally anything that you can put into your time block that you want to work on. Now, I wanted to give you a little action step because I don't want you just to look at this and not take anything from it. So I want you to do your own time blocking. And you can post it on your team page or post it on Philly Fusion, or you can tag me on Instagram and show me your time blocking because I would love to help you with it. I love time management. So that is your homework for the night, is to create a time blocking on a planner or on a paper, however you want to do it, and just create a plan for your week. And then we're going to get into my favorite. This is always my favorite part, is my special tips and non-negotiables. 4 vital behaviors every single day. I know you're probably tired of hearing that, but it's true. You got to do your vital behaviors. That's why it's called vitals. As a nurse, I am a nurse. So vital signs is your blood pressure, your heart rate. Those are things that you need to survive. Your 4 vital behaviors are what you need for your business to survive. Personal development that I recommend, that I love, is Eat That Frog. It's really good for procrastination. The Miracle Morning, I had to read that book in order to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm not a morning person. So that was the book that actually taught me steps on becoming a morning person. I'm still not a morning person, but I could wake up because I know I have to. 12-week year is the one I told you, that it breaks up your goals every 12 weeks versus just thinking of your yearly goals. Total Money Makeover, for those who want to be debt-free. That one I highly recommend. Go for No, if you're scared of hearing no or you're tired of hearing no's. I actually use that book for coach invites because as a new coach, I was afraid to send coach invites. So it's like, I need to do this Go for No. Rock Your Network Marketing Business and also Building an Empire is all about multi-level marketing. You are in multi-level marketing, so you need to know a little bit more about the concept of it. 5-second rule is a good one for procrastination, as well as those who have anxiety. Mel Robbins talks a lot about anxiety in there. The 10X rule. If you want to quit your job, eliminate your debt, you got to 10X your goals. So if you're only sending out 3 invites, that's okay for now, but that's not going to get you to being debt free. It's going to take you a really, really long time to be debt free if you're only doing 3 invites. So you have to 10X it. I started at sending 3 invites because I was uncomfortable. But after I got used to it, I was like, all right, I'm going to up it to 5. And then when I made that goal to eliminate my debt and quit nursing, I did 40 to 60 on my days off. The days that I worked, I couldn't send that many invites, so I would do like the minimum. But on my days off, I would invite my ass off. And the 10X rule was the book that inspired me to do more. Failing forward. You're going to fail in life. Everyone fails, especially successful people. We actually fail even more because we are always putting ourselves out of our comfort zone. If someone doesn't put themselves out of their comfort zone, they're hardly going to see failure. But if you read that book, who likes Chick-fil-A? Raise your hand if you like Chick-fil-A. I don't really go that often, but I do like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, the owner, and I always forget his name because I always talk about this story, but he actually was denied so many times with his chicken sandwich. They didn't want his chicken sandwich. They were like, we got burgers. And he tried so many times until finally someone's like, we like chicken sandwiches. And look at him now. Like, Chick-fil-A is all over the world, and there's always a whole line to get your food. So successful people always fail. Just know that. So Failing Forward is a really good book to make you realize that as a successful person, you are going to fail, but you're just going to keep pushing. Get over your damn self. That was like, I feel like that's number 1 for a multi-level marketing business. It's a really good one. Developing the leader within you. You are a leader. Even if you just signed up as a coach yesterday, you are a leader in your home, and you're going to become a leader in your team. And this is a really good book to remind you of that. Girl Stop Apologizing. I love Rachel Hollis. That's one of her best ones. Or Girl Wash Your Face is another good one. And Go Pro if you're afraid or need to be better with recruiting. Eric Worre is like the best for recruiting. The next thing is attend events. Make sure you get your butt to Summit. Come to Super Weekends, especially if you're in Philly, because we have the best ones ever. We have a Moala coming in April. And then we have Joel coming March 1st, which sadly we are sold out. So I hope that you got tickets. Also, live business trainings. Rachel Hollis has a Rise conference every year. Eric Worre has the GoPro one to teach you about recruiting. You have Pace to Be Brave with Angie Lee. You have Charlene has her Marketing Impact Academy. There are so many live events. And I love to go to stuff also outside of Beachbody because I'm connecting with other successful people that can give me ideas for my business. So expand your knowledge and learn from other people by going to different conferences that are outside of Beachbody. And then having a system. If you want to build a big empire and have a big team, paper and pen. I hope that you're not using paper and pen at this time, but you really need to transition into a system that is going to work for you, that you're not going to forget anybody. I used to use paper and pen, and I was just all over the place. I couldn't remember who I messaged last, and it was just too much. And then one time I forgot someone messaged me, and Facebook never notified me. And this person was actually ready to sign up. And I never got that message until I went to follow up with her a month later. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so bad. And I was like, I got to find a different system. So now I actually use Asana. And Asana, I freaking love it because I have my whole to-do list in there. And then for my customers, I could put their name, I could put their email, I could put their number, I could put where we talked in the conversation. And then I could set a day that I need to talk to them next. So I am never forgetting anybody, and Facebook never has to Facebook messes up all the time. And I always ask for backup too. I ask for their email and I ask for their number because what was it last year that Facebook and Instagram was down and we couldn't work our businesses, but I kept working my business because I had their email and their number. So I always try to have backups, and I always keep that information on Asana. And then of course I use my planner as well. So Asana and my planner are the only two things that I use for my business. The next thing is power of 3 or power of whatever you want. If you are scared to send invites, then start with 3, but don't stay there. Keep going up and up until you feel comfortable. Like I said, I started at 3. Then I went to 5, and then I went to 10, and then I went to 20, and then I went to 40, and I went to 60. And when I got more confident, the more people you talk to, the better outcome you have. If you're not making Success Club, that means you're not inviting enough. So just have that in your brain. Next thing is have a success partner. It's very good for accountability. It's friendly competition. You can bounce ideas on each other. You can, kick each other in the butt when you're having, a bad day. You can vent. Because no one is going to understand this business other than another Beachbody coach. You can vent to your significant other, your husband, your boyfriend about it. If they don't work the business, they don't understand. As much as I tell my husband how sometimes it could be complicated and annoying to hear people say no and no and no, he doesn't understand it because he doesn't get that, right? So it's always good to have someone to talk to. But I really encourage you to find a success partner outside of your team, because then you're going to learn from the other upline. Because if you're being a success partner with one of your coaches or someone who's already on your team, you're learning the same thing. You have the same upline. So definitely find someone outside of your team to learn from each other. And then lastly is conquering your fears and expect failures. Because like I said, you're going to fail. You just have to keep going and stay positive, because as long as you are consistent and you show up, you are going to succeed. You just can't quit. Now we're going to end off a little bit with some debt-free stuff, because I know that you guys were interested with that. First thing is get that book. Total Money Makeover, because that's the steps that I followed. Step 1 was know how much debt you're in. A lot of people ask me for help, and I'm like, how much debt are you in? They're like, I don't know. You need to know how much you owe. That's the first step. Step 2 is breaking your debt from smallest to biggest. So the smallest is the one that you're going to work on. And then step 3 is getting on a budget and making sacrifices. I stopped eating out. I stopped, going to concerts or anything that cost money. I wasn't doing it. I was like, nope, I got to eliminate my debt first. So I made a lot of sacrifices with income. And then step 4, this was the scariest step that Dave Ramsey tells you. He says to use some of your savings in order to pay your debt. I was so scared. I'm a huge, big saver. My mom taught me to save because she never saved. And I had a really pretty big savings account. And I was like, what? Use my savings? Oh my God, but that's for emergencies. And I was like really scared to do this part until I read the portion of the book. And it's like, why are you saving if you're still in debt? Like, how much more money would you have if you didn't have debt? And that hit me hard. And I was like, oh, I should. So I've used I can't remember, and I wish I could remember how much I put down, but I put some from my savings. So that was step 4. And then step 5 is that you start paying your smallest, and then you pay the minimum of the others. So you'll put extra on that small loan, and then your minimum of the others, so that you obviously are paying all your bills. At first, I was doing the opposite of this. Not even the opposite. I was putting extra on every loan, and it wasn't moving at all until I followed this step. And then, so the next step is once you eliminate that first one, you go into the next one. And after you finish that, you go into the next one until you're completely debt free. Now, those were very quick steps. So I highly recommend for you to buy the book. But also, if you want to hear more about what I did, because I sold stuff and I did a whole bunch of different stuff to eliminate it. But most of my income came from Beachbody. I would say 80% of it was paid with Beachbody income. So every paycheck that I got from Beachbody went straight to my loans. I didn't use it for anything else. And then I used my nursing income to survive. So I have a podcast called She Hustles, and episode 8 is all about my debt and how I did it. So if you want to learn a little bit more, that's where you can find it. And then we talked about live events. So I'm having a women's conference June 6th in Cherry Hill. It's all about leveling up your life, teaching you how to eliminate your debt, teach you how to become more organized, teach you how to be healthy without always feeling like you're in a diet. We're going to talk about mental health and anxiety and so many things that women are kind of like afraid to talk about. So giving you like a safe place. So if you want to join me, you could get tickets at lovefitbyjasira.com, and currently they are $10 off. So that's that. And then lastly, I just wanted to show you my social media, because if you do your time blocking, I want you to tag me. I want to see it. So my Instagram is fit4arm. My podcast, again, is called She Hustles. It's on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. And it's all about women empowerment and teaching you how to live your best life. I also do a lot of teaching about health. So if you have PCOS, anxiety, PTSD, any diagnosis, I'm always talking about it. I'm interviewing women who don't let their diagnosis define them. And then you can friend me on Facebook, and I have a YouTube and my website. And that is all, guys. I'm going to leave it for questions. Any questions?
No questions. You guys are quiet. Ashley.
I would love to see one of your time blocks for the week.
Okay. I will take a picture of it, and then you want me to put, are you in Philly Fusion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank you so much for talking for us. Like I don't think people have questions because you're incredibly thorough and to the point, and I love that.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. I can attest to Dave Ramsey also, because we got ourselves out of so much debt with that book. And then we also went to the classes, like so much. I love him. And yeah, no, you have so much. Oh, I did have another question also. Do you have a virtual assistant, like one virtual assistant, or do you tend to go on Fiverr and Upwork and just like piecemeal stuff?
I just have one, but it took me, so I used a company called, I'm gonna look it up because you guys can, she actually finds virtual assistants for Beachbody coaches. And it's called Boss, I gotta look it up and then I'll post it on Philly Fusion. It's
Yeah, let me know.
something. But what I really loved about this company was that they give you about 5 people to interview, and not like interview, it was already an interview that I would read, like I would see it, and then you would pick the person that you feel more comfortable with. And thankfully, it was actually last year, and I should have hired a virtual assistant a long time ago. But last year was when I got out of my comfort zone, and I'm that person that I'm like, I need to do stuff myself because I got to do it right, and I'm the only person that knows how to do it. So that's why it took me so long to do it. But what I love about that company was that you actually got to choose someone that you felt connected with. And now I have a virtual assistant, and she's been with me for a year and a half. And I love her. She does a lot of my messaging. She does a lot for me. So yeah, I only have one person, and then other things I do from project based. I do ebooks sometimes, so I hire a graphic designer for just certain projects, and go from there. But yeah, I feel like it's always good to have a connection with just one, so that you can build that relationship and see how they work, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. And then did you know what you wanted her to do at first, or did you collaborate with her and she helped a lot?
So it took me a little bit to figure out what I wanted her for.
Yeah.
So I, before hiring her, I had to make my own, like I did on Google Docs, and like thought about what can she do for me that I don't need to do. Mm-hmm. So what I initially had her start doing was just to send invites. And also my follow-ups on Asana. So she has access to my Asana, and I can show you really quickly what my Asana looks like, just so that you know. She has access to my Asana. So when it comes to following up with people, all she does is goes through my Asana, and she'll send a message or reply back or whatever that may be. And then sometimes she'll write, little comments here of what we talked about, or as you can see here, there's actually tags in here. So if I want to talk to someone, I put little tags on here so that she knows I'm going to talk to them versus her messaging them. And then she does little graphics and stuff, but it took some time for me to figure out what she was good at. And once I figured out that she's actually a recruiter for an airline, I was like, oh, she needs to send these invites. So I got the feel for her, and then I decided that she was going to take control of at least sending that initial message. And once it got closer for them to actually purchase, then that's when I took over.
Wow, that's awesome. I could do a whole talk asking you questions about that. So I'll stop. Thank you.
I love the questions.
Any more questions? Like, I'm blown away. You're so much more than like a cute little face and rocking bod. I'm like, holy crap, this woman is freaking amazing. Like you are amazing. Go ahead. Yeah. Amanda.
I have a question that's sort of unrelated. It's sort of related, but did you ever finish? You never finished your nurse anesthetist stuff?
I did not. I had a year left, and I just decided to quit all over because I was like, I eliminated my debt, and at that time, I was like also using Beachbody money to like pay for my graduate school, and then I was to the point where I had to pay again $70,000. When I seen that, I was like, I'm not doing this for what? I didn't want to do nursing anymore. So I decided to stop.
Yeah, good for you. You stopped. You realized what your passion was. Good. Okay. I was just curious.
Any other questions?
I say we bring her back on and ask like 8 million more questions. Just a straight up Q&A.
Seriously, you did really speak to my heart, because I'm like, everything that she covered is like things that are going on in my life. And everything, like, well, especially with working full time and, you know, doing coaching full time and having a family, and I would love to quit my job, and it just scares me because of like the debt, like credit card debt. And so I'm like, totally money makeover. We got to do this. I got to get my husband on board. So I'm really excited. And you covered so much stuff for advanced coaches, like coaches that have been in the business forever, brand new coaches. I'm like, man, this call is just like for everybody. So thank you so much. You did such an incredible job.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We need a picture. So if you're naked, do not turn on your video. But if you are okay, I would love to see your face on the picture, please. Samson. Okay, that's all we're getting. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
See you. Good night, ladies.
Good night.